Should be fine.
Okay, so we're live here. So again, this is the first time I've seen either of these two teams play. Zinger Box versus Ork Esports. I hope I can remember their names because I have to familiarize myself with them. But I almost want to say, like these teams that I don't get to see very often, I feel like they're going to bring something maybe unique to the table. They might pick up some heroes that we don't necessarily see all that often or whatnot. I
Probably.
honestly couldn't tell you because I didn't even look at the replay like at all. I just punched it in, clicked download, and here
Me
I am in
neither,
the
actually.
game. So I couldn't even predict what heroes they're going to be picking, even though I looked at it very quickly. So
One strange thing out of the bat is Icor ban.
yeah,
That's new.
Moira and Defiler so far. I think we see those
These are
heroes.
normal.
Those are normal, but the
Yeah.
Icor ban. Again, these two teams probably know each other, right? These are both Australian teams, so maybe they have some history with each other. Maybe they play against each other in matchmaking, I would imagine. So maybe they have some heroes that they know the other teams like to play, and maybe they're going to be banning out some select heroes. So the Icor there could perhaps be a respect ban against somebody from the Legion side.
Yeah, actually. Hold on. Who banned it? It was Orc. So
Mm-hmm. Yep, from
these
the Halberd
guys,
side.
let's see. Yep. No Icor.
Oh, you're
No
looking through
Icor.
their
Yep.
stats.
No
Very
Icor.
smart.
No Icor. This guy actually has Icor. The guy in the middle, he has 11% Icor. Maybe he's a sick Icor player, maybe.
Which player?
What is his name?
Oh, Bengi.
Bingy, yeah, whatever.
I believe it's
That's
pronounced
the guy.
Bengi. It's actually
Uh,
a girl. I've heard she does not like to be called Benji. Call her Bengi.
okay,
That's all I
Bengy.
know. That's
I'm
all I
sorry.
know.
Forgive me.
So hopefully she's happy with my pronunciation. Uh, Engineer, Cthulhuphon, and Pharaoh, not in that order, but those were the last three bands. Um, the Engineer, very strong hero. Cthulhuphon, same thing. We see those heroes quite often. The Pharaoh, it's an interesting blind ban. I could, I guess, see why they would blind ban it. It's a powerful solo option. Very good at roaming early game. So we don't usually see Pharaoh blind bans, but again, maybe another respect ban.
And
And
the
then
Cthulhu again.
yeah, the Cthulhu font. I think we saw that one in one of the replay casts yesterday. So we have a first pick Monarch. That's pretty normal. Monarch, pretty prominent support hero on the scene right now. Very solid hero. And then we go with the Legion side goes with Prophet and Moraxis. So they pick up a support and an initiator. Doesn't really tell too much about their lineup so far, but I will say Paradise. I really love Prophet. I feel like this is a support we don't see often enough. I think the hero brings a lot to the table. It's great in fighting lineups, and this is a very
Oh yeah,
fight heavy meta
actually.
that we're in right now. The only thing Prophet really lacks is like a secure disable. It has a lot of mini stuns, so heroes can jump away from him and whatnot. But if he's able to keep attacking and mini stun people, it's a very disruptive hero. So it definitely when you pair it with like a carry that can really utilize the attack speed buff, it's a very powerful pick. So hopefully they pair that with something that can utilize the invigorate.
But just before we continue, everybody in chat right now, just tell me if the audio is good and my audio level and Chris's are like similar to each other or like at the same level. Marlon, if you can help me out with this, it'll be really nice. But I tried to fix it right now, actually. I think this is perfect right now, but I don't know. You can give me feedback. But yeah, speaking about Prophet, I love Prophet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he was never picked, to be honest. I don't understand. I mean, I kind of get it because there are much more effective heroes like Moira and etc. Monarch. They're much more effective than Prophet. But Prophet is strong, though.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I remember, his last change was his ultimate. No, they made it like much larger. Correct?
So once upon a time, you could place it down in an area. Then it got changed where it was centered around you, wherever you were. You would be the center of the ultimate. And now it's back to that. Put it down in an area. Everybody who gets hit by your spells gets hit by them. So it's kind of back to where it once was. Once upon a time, you can target the area now. So it combos nicely with other heroes. You don't have to danger yourself so much as back when it was centered around your hero. I didn't ever really like that too much. But we have Corrupted Disciple and Magmus following up Monarch. So that looks like a pretty solid making up for a tri-lane if they want to run those three heroes together. They don't necessarily have to, but I would say quite normal stuff from the Hellborn's draft. I like it quite a lot. It's very flexible. The Magmus could be either a position 3 or position 4 hero. Corrupted doesn't necessarily have to be the main carry, but that's typically where we see him played. So there's still a lot of options that they have. And now Legion will have to respond to that. Yep.
One thing I'm like trying to understand in these tournaments lately, what's up with Corrupted? Why is everybody picking Corrupted? Why is he such a popular pick all of a sudden?
The hero is just so good. He's so easy to lane, and he scales really well. He doesn't really have too much weakness right now.
I feel like, okay, so I understand the hero, like, in early stage, he's very, very powerful. He's one of the strongest heroes in early stages. But what I don't understand is why I picked as a carry. I feel like as a secondary, maybe, perhaps, but as a main carry, I don't like him
Well,
to be as a
he
main
doesn't
carry.
need to build any kind of farming item or damage item. He gets his damage naturally through his Corrupted Conduit. So he can just simply get a Shrunken Head early on, get parts to a Dawnbringer, and he just runs down the enemy carry. And they can't really man fight him unless they blink away or break the leash of his conduit. So it's a really hard carry to fight into early game and mid game. And on top of that, he scales just very, very well. So you can't really, unless you have a really, really hard carry or a great way to deal with him, it's really hard to fight a farmed Corrupted Disciple in late game as well. So just he does a lot of things really, really well. But
I can see that, but
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more carries like him. Like, for example, there's a like Shadowblade, Gunblade, Ravenor. These three do what he does greatly, actually. Yeah, of course they don't have his W. Well, Shadowblade has 40% damage steal on his W, but of course it's not 260 damage as Corrupted, but it's instant. Unlike Corrupted, where you have to stand on top of the hero the whole time. But I'm talking about the hero out of seeing him in the games, right? I'm not just talking about, oh no, this is what I think. Every time I saw him in games so far, he's good in lane and he's good in early, true. But in late game, I don't feel like he's that threatening. I don't
well,
know.
he definitely is. He's not. Well, you mentioned Shadowblade. He's definitely not the same kind of carry as Shadowblade. That hero just naturally is one of the strongest carries in the game because he has the ultimate, which gives him bonus stats.
Essence shift.
But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like getting to that point, he does it very easily. It's very easy to execute. It's easy to go from beginning, middle to end rather than just skipping over beginning and middle and getting to the end. So
Yeah.
I think we should probably talk about the bans. We're almost done here. We got Monkey King, Wretched Hag, Gladiator from Legion. So that looks like, I guess, mid heroes, so to speak, because they already have the Corrupted, so they're expecting maybe this Monkey King to be more of like a secondary hero, same as the Hag and the Gladiator. Then we have Kinesis, Pebbles, and Swiftblade. That's a very wide variety of heroes. So they plan a support, a mid, and more of like a carry style of hero. So a little bit of everything. To me, when you ban like that, it's more so you're trying to get rid of stuff either you don't want to face or you think maybe those specific heroes counter something that you're planning to do, because they're kind of just targeting a little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
Then we have Bubbles and Emerald Warden picked up from Legion. So
Emerald.
Emerald
You don't
Warden.
see that every day.
That is a
I don't see
hero that we
every day.
don't see every day.
That's an interesting one.
The thing about this hero is I really don't know where he's going to be played. I think he can be a wide variety of roles.
Okay, Malikan.
I was gonna say, I think Emerald Warden can be played in a wide variety of roles. He could be played as like a second support. He could be played as like a third core where he could farm somewhere. He could be played as a mid, although I don't really feel like as a mid he's that useful. I think he's more of like a second support or position 3 hero, because really all this hero needs is a Staff of the Master. If you get Staff of the Master on this hero, being able to upgrade your bird to having the stun and then giving the bird to somebody else on your team, usually your carry or initiator, can be quite good. So typically you want to put a little bit of farm on him, but he's not one of those like heavy farm dependent heroes to really do a lot. You really just need that one item on him, and then he's kind of doing what he needs to do. So I'm
Okay.
expecting this to be more of a second support because they did pick up a Malakin on the last pick, and it looks like they're laning, or at least for now, it looks like the Emerald's going with the Moraxis. So I think for sure that'll be a support Emerald, which I think is fine. Um, we saw Malakin was the last pick for Legion, and then they. Wait a minute here. Did they? They didn't last pick the Malakin. Oh wow.
They
Okay,
did. They did.
so they picked Malakin after Self Forest. That's what I was checking in the
Oh
pick
yeah,
selection.
that
I think that's
is.
actually a big mistake to do that because they're
It
running
is.
they're running a single core Malakin, and this wouldn't be as bad if they had like a secondary core, but because Malakin's their single core, Lord Self-Force has one ulti target this game. All he has to do is ulti the Malakin, and the Malakin's gonna almost always die every single fight. So the Lord Self-Force, it came out preemptively before the Malakin. I think the Midas was also picked up with the Self-Force on the last two picks. It's gonna round off Hellborn's lineup, I think, a little bit nicer than the final pick Malakin for Legion.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's. I don't know, man. You're right. I just realized that because I'm trying to like do the code or of auto skip and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know about the decision. Anyways, Chris, just before we go, what's your time right now? I'm at
9,
000 right now.
10, 11 at the top.
Okay,
At the top,
pause,
12.
pause at like
Pause.
any time.
I'm gonna
What
pause
did you
at
pause?
15 seconds.
15. Okay, let me get there.
Okay, I'm paused at 15. 15 on the up at the top.
Yep. Okay, I'm there. You ready?
Okay, give me the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, looks
All
like
right.
somehow we always get unsynced. I don't know how that works, but oh well.
Potato PC.
21, 22, 23. I think we're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Hellborn's doing an aggro tri-lane, Monarch, Magmus, and Corrupted. Then they have the Midas solo mid and the Lord Self-Forest solo top. So when I look at Hellborn's lineup, I feel like this is just a very well drafted, well-rounded lineup. They have great mixture of physical and magic. They have initiators. They have two heroes that scale insanely well, and they have a great defensive support. So from top to bottom, this lineup looks more or less perfect in my eyes. When I look at Legion's lineup, I think there's a lot of things that are kind of iffy for me, and that's not to say that they can't work. That just means when I say things are iffy, to me that means harder to execute. It means you have to play better or outplay your opponent for it to work out as easily as your opponent's lineup. So
Let's see.
they have some heroes like Moraxis that are portal key dependent. Bubbles, not so much because he can get in there with Shell Surf and Song of the Sea early on. So they do not necessarily lack too much initiation, but they kind of lack the follow-up to the bubbles until they get the Moraxis Blink. Their carry is going to have a very tough time this game because he got counterpicked more or less
Hard.
on their own decision making. So Malakin's going to have a tough game for himself, regardless of anything in the game, because there's a Lord Self-Forest on the opposing side. And then they have heroes like Prophet and Emerald Warden that don't have guaranteed disables. It might make setting up kills in early and mid game a little bit more difficult because they are going to have a little bit more of a hard time locking people down. But that's not to say that these things can't work. Like I said, just means that they'll have to work a little bit harder to get the job done. So
From what you just said, it seems like they got extremely outdrafted and outlaned. So we will see how things end up.
So as far as outlane goes, let's talk about that. So we talked about the tri-lane for Hellborn in the bottom lane. They're going up against Moraxis and Emerald Warden. So it looks like they lane swapped, which I think is fine. They want to get the Malakin farm. They put Prophet up there with him. But I think Lord Self-Forest will still be able to do okay up here. We already see him on 9 creep kills, 2.5 minutes in. So he's not really too phased by this 2v1 lane so far. He's getting some farm. Malakin, he's 13 and 3. Bottom lane, looks like we're going to have the Bloodlust skill come out on Emerald Warden. So again, she doesn't really have a stun. She has a slow. She has an immobilize, but you know, you throw a hatchet, attack the trap one time, you can get rid of it. There is some counterplay. But the Bloodlust, who did it go to? It went to the Monarch, so she'll either get an
Monarch,
early
yeah.
locket or she'll be getting boots. Looks like we see her
There
right
you
click
go.
the locket.
Locket.
I like it because it's gonna give more gold to her and more experience. She's gonna be able to take advantage of that. Doesn't really necessarily need the boots as she has the Magmus able to initiate for now. So right now Hellborn's doing a lot of things really well early on. Bubbles versus Midas. I think that's a fairly even matchup. This one usually comes down to rune control. Both heroes very mobile. Now that Midas is level 4, he's going to start to have more lane presence. We see Bubbles doing pretty well early on. He's 17-6 against 13-1. So Bubbles, I don't know if either side got the 2-minute rune. I didn't really pay attention. But either way, Bubbles is doing great so far. We see another kill bottom lane. And that's just kind of due to the 3 versus 2, right? Once Emerald Warden gets caught, if she's out of position, there's really nothing Meraxis can do to keep her alive.
No. One thing, by the way, I don't think that anybody is doing it. Is Ophelia's back? What do you think of that? I've never seen anybody buy it. Why is that a thing?
I think people are buying it. We're just not probably noticing it on the casts. And if they don't buy it right at the start,
Wait,
Monarch has it right now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, you're right.
You have to.
No,
You have to
talking
actually.
about, like, generally, in all games. Like I'm not noticing it, but maybe I was wrong because now you buy it and use it. It's not automatic anymore, as far as I
Right.
remember.
You have to buy it and then consume it. You get a little buff on your hero status bar. Top lane looks like Malikan and Prophet bring down the Lord. I'm not sure if he got low or had low mana or whatnot, but Magnus is invis middle lane. We'll see a Midas combo come in. They transmute the bubbles. He leaps in. This should be a kill. Oh wow. I feel like
got stuck
he
between his creeps.
He had the shell surf. Okay, I didn't realize he used the shell surf, so they caught him with the shell surf down. Bottom lane we have a 2v2 engagement. Merax is putting a lot of damage out, but here comes the drain from CD. He's on 200 damage. Paradise. 200 damage 5 minutes in. That's and Meraxis was sitting for negative.
I understand. That's the thing. I get his power here. I understand his power in here, like early game. But the thing is, it's just for me as a carry, as a main carry, late game. I'm not a big fan of him. That's all. I feel like
fine.
he's
That's
not that
perfectly
powerful
fine.
late game.
No, they're definitely giving him a setup to
early game,
where he can succeed. That's for sure.
True, but early game he's really powerful. I don't know why he gets 200 damage in early game. I think that's questionable to say the most, but it is what it is. And yeah, it is a really, really disgusting ability.
Well, we see both the carries on the top of the GPMs for their team, but across the board, Hellborn's GPMs look a little bit better. So we see a 1400 gold, 1400 XP lead.
The Lord is on 260, same as Midas.
And that's with one death, so he's really not doing that bad.
At all
on the Self Forest. And I talked about that. I talked about how the Malikan Prophet lane is not really like that threatening to him, where he cannot step up into the lane and still get farm. But bottom lane for Legion is, you know, as we talked about, the Emerald Warden Meraxis lane, that's a little bit more iffy. They've had a lot of trouble, and, you know, for good reason. They've been 3 versus 2 down here. They don't have like a secure way to either escape or lock people down early on. So Emerald's 0-3, Meraxis is 0-1. And it just continues to give free reign over to Corrupted, so I don't really foresee this really changing, outside of maybe Bubbles making rotations with Kelp Fields, or Prophet maybe carrying a TP and they're able to punish like a greedy dive or something, so...
I don't think they will dive though. I don't think that's necessary for them currently. They have complete control over the lane. They'd be very greedy if they do that.
So Sulfuras went back to base really low on life. Looks like he'll be okay. Midas, I think he was stacking the jungle. Now this gives a lot of space over to Bubbles. Or a little bit of space. He currently has a haste rune, so Bubbles has that for another minute. I feel really bad for this Emerald Warden, because it feels like this is a tough game to beat Emerald Warden in.
For sure. No, she's not having a good time at all. Yeah, Hellbound is just stacking and pulling this like non-stop and giving CD all the farm you could possibly give him. Even though Malikan is still higher GPM, which is I feel like is a bit odd, but he's not low GPM either. He's 380 currently.
You know, this is gonna sound kind of troll. This is gonna sound kind of troll, but I'd almost rather see Emerald Warden like do some jungling, like stack like the easy camps and just put traps in them,
yeah.
And then just let Meraxis just sit here 1 versus 3, because ideally. Emerald's really not doing. Emerald's not really doing anything down here. She can't save Meraxis. They can't really get counter kills, and at the same time, Emerald could be like level 7 or something just by jungling. It would. It would force rotations from the supports to stop his jungling. I know it sounds kind of troll, but if you think about
No,
it,
it's
if you think
really not
if you
though.
think about it, Emerald would just be spacing out the map and getting more gold for his team.
As far as I remember, Emerald Warden's kind of decent. Like you
Oh
do
yeah,
get
you can jungle this
decent
hero level
GPM,
1. You
semi-decent.
can juggle this hero level 1, no doubt in my mind. I've done it many times. And you can get level 5
Invisibility
by
Midas,
5
by the
minutes.
way.
Yep, he's gonna line up a transmute on the
This is the
solo
stun
prophet.
on the
Here comes
bubbles.
a Quake Stun from Moraxis. It's bringing down the Monarch with the Matriarch explosion. Corrupted is using the drain now. Doesn't drain the most damage. He gets kelped up by the bubbles. Meanwhile, we have a split fight going on here. 2-man stun from the Magmas. Single transmute comes in on the Moraxis, and he leaps in. And the heals from Prophet are just a little bit too much. Meanwhile, CD, here comes Malikan though. It's going to bring down CD. So we see Malikan finally join the party. I think this is now all 10 heroes as Moraxis is going to chase down the Midas.
Was close.
And they bring him down. So this was actually a really good fight from Legion. And you know, I told you that they were not going to really get anything done unless they started to bring players down here to this bottom lane. They did exactly what I think they should have done, which is, you know, bring Bubbles down here with a kelp field. And then it allowed... The fight took so long that it allowed time for Malikan to even port in and get a counter kill on the enemy carry. So this was a really good fight for Legion. All of a sudden, they're in a lead, Paradise. They have a 1,000 gold and 500 XP lead. This was
True, but
almost completely...
It was a fight.
Yeah?
Continue. Okay, it was a fight where Corrupted did not get his W off and Midas missed his combo on Bubbles when he had
okay.
invisibility.
Okay.
So I think the fight would have went differently if Bubbles did land. Sorry, Midas did land his abilities on Bubbles and
Okay.
Corrupted got his damage.
Okay.
I might be mistaken though.
You probably caught something that I missed because there was a lot going on in that fight. But
Yeah, Corrupted had 90 damage only that fight.
yeah, it didn't look like he drained. He got a very
No, he
long
did
drain
not.
off. I did notice that the drain just kind of stopped. So it looks like Hellborn didn't really line up all their spells correctly. But either way, it was a great fight for Legion, and they brought the game back to an even state. So now we see Malikan. He's got an Elder Parasite already with Steam Boost. We didn't really talk too much about him, but he was farming very well top for good reason. He's the top farmer in the game, 2-0. And then they stick Moraxis up in the top lane, which I think is very good for them. This allows them to kind of just take control of the bottom lane. So how's Bubbles doing? He's 295. He has...
Oh wow. Chris,
What's up?
click 5.
Click 5?
Uh-huh.
The damage chart?
Look at the most amount of damage from Legion, but
Emerald
meanwhile
Warden.
there's initiation going on. Sorry, Emerald Warden. There's
they're gonna
initiation
kill
going on at
Corrupted?
top lane, yeah.
They used the kelp there.
Emerald Warden, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because he keeps sending out wolves to 2 people
Wolves,
automatically.
yeah.
He throws traps, people walk into them. I mean, the hero is not... Like, when they picked
It
it up,
deals a lot of damage.
I didn't say the hero was bad or anything. I just feel... With their lineup, it's, like I said, it's just hard to do things. But the hero is not bad by all means. I still think he should have jungled. He would have been like level 8 or 9 by now. Probably like 300 GPM. Maybe had like Ghost Marchers or something. But, you know, it is what it is. They have a support Emerald Warden. He is getting dough. A very nice trap coming in on the Magmas. But Monarch gonna be the sole reason the Magmas survives.
Really low.
He's juking in the trees. He might be able to kill the Magmas actually if he can get a spell off here. Looks like he was not able to get the trap off. He got silenced, I think, by the Monarch.
Bubbles though coming bot lane with invisibility.
Oh,
Did you
Magma
see him, I
stunned
think?
right into Bubbles. Oh,
Into
wow.
Bubbles, unfortunate.
Top lane, the tower dies to Corrupted. But yeah, Bubbles was like, oh, hello, Magmas. I'll gladly take a free kill. So, Lord Forest is mid. I think that's going to result in a gank. Very even game, I would say, here at almost 13 minutes. Look at the GPM charts from both sides. It's like very spread out across
even.
everyone. Like the
Yeah,
supports
true.
around the same amount. A little bit better for Hellborn on both ends, being the solos and the supports. So Legion probably wants those numbers to go up a little bit more, but... What do you think Malikan's follow-up item to his Elder is going to be? Does he go like Shieldbreaker and Sanitarius? Probably go some kind of damage, right? Before the inevitable Shrunken Head pickup?
I guess so, because the thing is, he has to build while having Undying in his
Yeah.
mind.
I think he
So he
should
cannot
probably just
go
go the
like a
shield breaker here.
symbol.
I think just
I
going
agree with you.
raw damage, and then he can go for a shrunken and just get as much damage in as he can in the team fight.
Emerald just got a kill solo on the Magnus. I
Very
didn't
nice.
even see that.
I
Traps
would say
are a little
Emerald
bit too
is
powerful.
playing, considering he started 0-3, I would say he's playing very well. He's been lining up a lot. Every time I notice, he's been lining up the traps, which is a hard ability to hit on its own. And he just now got the silencing shot, I think level 7.
Not sure how Magnus died from it though, because he
Oh,
does
mid
have a
lane,
hatchet.
Bubbles.
But
I think
maybe
Bubbles
it
will
wasn't
be
pulled
okay
on.
here. A little bit surprised that he used the shell serve. I think he could have just juked in the trees there and he would have been fine. But Legion, or Hellborn, sorry, wants to push this tower. Force out the glyph. There's no mana. They do have the Kelp field here. Oh,
ultimate.
really nice Prophet ultimate, dealing a lot of damage. They need the follow-up. Where is the remaining damage? Moraxis gets a nice snipe there with the axe. Takes out the Monarch.
Was the wolves who got her, but yeah, the axe did hit her as
Oh, it
well.
was the wolves. Yeah, you're right. It looked like the axe took her out. Oh, eruption.
True. Oh, eruption.
Okay, it hits one. They get the one kill right away. Midas did not transmit anybody there. If he got a transmit, that probably would have resulted in the second kill.
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Being really greedy, really greedy.
He's gonna be fine here, actually. Oh wow. Magnus was very patient there. I like the patience from Magnus there.
I don't know why Midas cancelled his abilities. And why did Bubbles keep hitting the tower?
Yeah,
so
you know, I
confused.
felt like he DC'd for a sec. He's just sitting there tanking the invulnerable tower.
Might be, actually. Might be. Because that tower was nowhere near being like one-shotted or anything. It had a decent amount of HP.
It definitely looked a
compared to his
little
damage.
odd, I want to say. So I'll just give him the benefit
He
of the doubt
probably
that he
DC'd,
DC'd
actually.
for like a millisecond. Maybe he maybe he had DC sign and came back. But almost made an
even-
escape. Yeah.
Even if he wanted to attack it, he had no mana to Q or anything.
Yeah.
So,
It just
very
looked
questionable,
kind
so he probably
of
DC'd
looked
actually.
really strange, right? There's the
Oh,
Shieldbreaker
there you
from
go.
Malikan.
Shieldbreaker. Mhm.
I think that's the right item for this game.
I think so too, actually. I think he needs to...
Mid
I
lane,
don't-
tower... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think he should upgrade it. I think he should go with Shrunken Head immediately right now.
Hmm.
And then upgrade it after he gets the Shrunken Head. Because you have too many goddamn stuns on the Hellbound side. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think
maybe.
you should skip it. Because he will literally die in an instant. That Shrunken will at least
Oh,
let him
Maraxis has
survive for
blink.
like
Hold
5
that
seconds.
thought. He's gonna try to blink and get a stomp here. He's waiting for the TP to come in. Oh, he mistimed it a little bit, but either way, they're gonna have the damage. They bring both down. Look at that Prophet ultimate. Paradise doing so much
Good
damage.
job. Doing a lot of work.
Prophet's at 12%
Magnus is
hero
in
damage. It's pretty
really
nice.
bad spot. Never mind, he has a PK. Oh,
Warden gets transmuted up.
Emerald?
Oh, really nice trap.
nice trap, but Moraxis is not gonna
I
jump
think
in.
Moraxis wants to
they'll
go back
lose
in.
and
They
disable
need mana on the
PK.
bubbles. But Malikan has a sword throw ready to go. Oh, this could be a
Based
three-man
on the
Quake Stun.
illusion,
Come on, Moraxis,
unfortunately.
go in! Go in! He's being so scared. Oh, I hate to see the initiators being so scared like this.
Okay.
This is multiple kills if
Go
Moraxis
on.
blinks in. Okay, Moraxis is very, very scared. I don't know why.
He is extremely scared.
Malikan is like slamming his keyboard, praying that his Moraxis initiates. Okay, I'm actually tilted now. he could have had a 3-man Quake Stun like 10 seconds
Why was
ago.
he scared?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh my god. It was just Magnus, Midas, and Monarch. You're a Moraxis.
They saw the
Okay.
Chrysalis already used. They
Monarch
Now
being
Prophet's
initiated
gonna
on
die.
by the Magnus who actually uses his PK.
So this is literally a chain of events, all because
Moraxis
Moraxis
not
was
initiate.
too scared to go in.
Yeah, I don't know. Not like that. Not like that. Not one bit actually. Like, too scared. Way too scared. Way too scared to a ridiculous point. I feel like this guy's a KDA player. Where it's like, I don't want to die. You know, like sometimes, like you need to understand your role. You need to understand your role. You're not
Well-
that important.
Well, not
As
only
sad
that,
as it
but he
sounds,
wasn't in
just go
danger of
in.
anything. They had already used all their spells, and they saw the Chrysalis get burned. There was really no threat of anything there. one Quake stun from Meraxis and one sword throw on top, and they would have killed two people instantly. Probably gotten a third kill, and then Prophet's death would never have happened.
You know what, Chris?
So it's a
better
series
than
of chain
Shrunken and
events.
Run and Nullstone Scrap. Okay,
Okay.
let's just say that. Let's just say that. Remember. Okay, dude, I'm gonna stop on these two things. I think the joke is dead at this point, so let's just leave it there.
So CD, he picks up the
Magnus
light
setting up
brand.
bottom maybe.
Yeah, he has a portal key on the Magnus already, so good 30 GPM. Almost 19 minutes in. Got the blink. I think I like the Gnome's Wisdom pickup on the Lord. There's quite a bit of magic damage here on the Legion side. Also gives him a little bit of physical armor against the Malikan.
Minus invisibility and the Magnus of the eruption. Bubbles just gone.
Okay. Raxus pops the Matrix. He has Quake Stomp if they want to go back in. He gets only a single stun on the Sulfuras. Prophet's gonna fall here to Corrupted. And they stop the TP.
Stun. That was literally on the edge. That was a nice stun from Mag.
So Hellborn team responds very nicely here in the bot lane. This was originally the Legion team setting up.
Meraxis saw 5 people, and he did not have his carry. He went in. He had all of his teammates on only 3 against him at top lane, and he did not go in.
Yeah,
I
Meraxis
don't
is maybe playing with half a monitor or something.
Lord Wisdom.
Yep, I was just talking
What
about
do you
that.
think of that?
I was just talking about that. I think it's great. I like the Gnomes and Lord this game.
Huh.
I don't know why he has a life tube. Maybe he's going a Black Helm, but I feel like it's way too late for that. Well, he already has the Gnomes. I don't think it would make too much sense to go a Shamans and a Gnomes.
True, but you know,
I think
Wisdom is more
they might
perhaps for
deny
his
this
team.
tower. But Malikan has the Shieldbreaker 3. I think he'll go right into Shrunken now.
He has to go Shrunken now, yeah.
CD opted to only keep the Light Brand. He's going for Shrunken, so he's not going for any more Dawnbringer pieces.
Maybe it did not bite him back, like going Shieldbreaker level 3, that 2,000 gold that he just wasted. But in the same time, because he did not fight. But in the same time, if he had Shrunken, maybe he could have forced some fights. And the thing is, with a Shieldbreaker and Elder, I don't think any of the Hellborn would be able to survive the amount of damage that he's gonna outcome with his teammates.
I
don't know.
I like that he's gone the full Shieldbreaker.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. He's gonna 3-shot the Magnus here.
It is strong. It is very, very powerful.
Oh yeah.
But only in solo situations, but I think Corrupt is being initiated on. No, it seems like he's fine. Monarch still has her cleanse as well. So they seem like they're both fine.
Yep, so Bubbles.
Malikan is actually going on the Lord.
Oh yeah, he could kill him here. He might. No, I don't think he'll die actually. One more hit.
I don't think so, no. I think
He actually went Shamans and Gnomes. I really dislike that.
Sword in 4 seconds.
Oh, why does he...
though he's getting a little bit close.
Oh, he didn't chase.
Yeah, he should have kept the chase because the first tier tower of Hellborn is gone. So there was nobody close there. But I guess he did not realize it, or it was too late when he realized it.
So Bubbles has shards level 1. He's gonna go into Blink, which I like. You can always upgrade those later. The level 1 helps him farm and clear
Yeah,
waves much
as far as I
easier.
remember, level 1 spell charge Bubbles will clear a wave with QW for like 40 or something minutes, no? And then you would have to upgrade it to clear more.
I don't know if it's that long, but it's good.
It's pretty long as far as I remember. Like, long enough that you would have your essential items such as PK and stuff.
Yeah, I really dislike the Shamans and Gnomes. I feel like this is... A, it's stacking magic armor items, and B, it's too passive for my taste. I would much rather like to see either him transition into like a semi-carry with like the Dawnbringer, or just going like a more aggressive self-force route.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's way too much. It's way too passive. Like, if he wanted to go Shamans, he should have let someone else get the Wisdom, not him. Then he could have went into something more greedy, PK Downbringer. Not greedy, but offensive rather than defensive.
I just has 3,500 gold, by the way. That's That's a lot of gold in the making. Maybe he's going for a sheepstick.
Puppet Soul, the second.
Uh-huh. Saving a lot of gold.
So much gold in the bank.
CD has a shrunken now. So, if he had the Searing Light, we'd probably see him at around 500 GPM, but he goes for the earlier shrunken, so he can push towers with his team. It's not necessarily bad, I just think it's... You probably don't need to have the shrunken this early. He's got a Monarch to protect him from stuns and stuff. I think he probably could have went a little bit greedier. But it is what it is. We see one carry going the early shrunken, one carry not going the early shrunken. Malikan's about to have his though. He's 550 off. Gonna have it more or less around the same time as CD.
If he did catch CD in a fight, he would absolutely obliterate him before he could seal any damage.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty sure he would
really
kill
low.
him before he can take like good amount of damage, I guess.
Oh yeah, especially if he lines up the fear with the sword throw. If he gets to fear the CD and hit him like 3-4 times, that's gonna be about 80-75% of his health, so should be fine.
Lords is... no, I think he's gonna be fine. They're also scared because they don't see them.
Yeah, Meraxis also goes for a Shaman, so another like really passive item pickup. Typically we see Hellflower as the follow-up to Meraxis Blink. Just synergizes so well with the hero, because you can blink on somebody, stop them from getting their Shrunkens off, burst them down faster with your Matrax and axes. I don't really feel like Shamans is really needed here again. Like, he's not really Lord Sulfuris's target. Sure, he might get hit by some Magnus and Midas spells, but you know, if that's the case, he could always build into a Shrunken after a Hellflower, so he doesn't get stunned down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hellflower Shrunken would have been much better. Shamans only says, "Hey, I'm gonna be tanky," and I don't think they need to tank in this game. I think they need them. They need to kill them fast enough.
Yeah. So Meraxis item build a little bit too passive for my taste. Lord Sulfuris item build a little bit too passive for my taste. And he does upgrade it into the full barrier. Yep.
Oh no, she's gonna TP out. It's like watching an engineer. He just puts the traps and she waits patiently for someone to fall into her trap.
Yeah. Although unfortunately she doesn't have like 1200 damage traps. She just has, you know, a couple hundred damage on one. But I don't know. Do you think we'll see Emerald go for staff? I really don't feel like there's anything else that he should really think about
going Astro, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... If he's building an Astro 30 minutes, that's just really not going to have too much effect, because Astrolabe needs to be like a 12 to 18 minute item pickup, where the 200 burst steal actually has like a big impact. If you're buying Astrolabe like 30 minutes into the game, not really going to have too much impact. So, how much...
just buy a Soul Trap?
I think so. Maybe they want a Dreamcatcher or something. But...
Well, Bubbles has it. But yeah, anyways, continue.
I was gonna say, how much farm do you think this Emerald would have if he started in the jungle? Like, maybe for just like the
400
first...
GPM
Just
right
for the
now.
first like 5 to 7 minutes. And just like, after that transitioned into like more of a support. You know, just jungle for the beginning of the game, give your team a little bit more gold and XP.
He would definitely have a staff by now.
I think he would be like, maybe like,
GPM.
almost at a staff. I don't want to say he'd necessarily have a staff, but 30 minutes into the game, farming a 4k gold item, it's really not that difficult.
If he rushed it, I mean, he only has Striders and Chalice.
Yeah.
He would have a bottle probably instead of the Grave Locket.
Right.
He would not have the bracelet. So his items are very cheap. I think he would have it by now, probably.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you were looking back at this game, maybe want to think about putting this Emerald in the jungle. Because I think it's safe to say he didn't really do... And it's not that he didn't do anything, it's more like he couldn't really do anything, right? He could not really help the Meraxis in any way.
I don't think Meraxis needed help to begin with.
Yeah. 2 versus 3, 1 versus 3. Either way, he was going to sit back, throw axes at the lane, and never really engage because the numbers advantage isn't there.
Actually, you know what? Even though... Oh, wait a minute. They're going on the Magnus? No, he PK'd before the Q and the W from Emerald. That's odd. I always thought the silence from Emerald is instant, but I guess not.
No, it has a
Maybe it's
travel.
just because
It
of
has a
how
travel
fast
speed.
it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can disjoint it and
Ah,
stuff.
he fell into his trap.
Oh, where?
God, that is so much damage
Where?
on the magmas. I wish it was mines. God. That's storm though. If
That's
we're
hella toxic.
mines, wouldn't be a big problem.
So
That sounded
Midas,
toxic. You want him dead?
so what about this? We see Midas by a Shrunken. I do not agree with that.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, no, at all.
Yeah, we didn't get a
Like
chance to
if
talk
he
about it
was
though.
building. Yeah, okay.
I feel like if you're gonna buy a Shrunken on Midas, it means you want to auto attack, but he has Striders in the blink. Like there's no auto attacks coming from this guy. There's just cast your spells, run away, wait for them to come back up, do it again. So I feel like this Shrunken makes almost no sense. I think you pretty much want anything else. You'd want Sand Scepter, Storm Spirit, Sheep
I
Stick.
wouldn't say Sand Scepter.
No, I'm
Sheepstick
just
I
giving
would go with.
examples of items. Not necessarily for this game. I'm just saying items that give you mana regen, split push potential, even going into like an early post haste, spell
I would
shard.
say
Anything that either bumps up your combo or gives you more map presence. But the Shrunken
that is
Head,
true.
that is not a very good use of 4,000 gold.
No, whatsoever. Actually, post haste would have been great. I love post haste, man. I'm such a fan of post haste.
And an early post
Especially
haste can be very
on
good.
not just early post haste. That's true, but post haste on like very one-shot powerful heroes like Deadwood and stuff. These heroes with a post haste are very, very, very powerful. If you have a Deadwood with a post haste at like minute 15 with a PK and Lex,
That's
that
a lot
is
of
really
farm,
scary.
sir.
That is a lot of fun, but I do it a lot to be honest when I play Deadwood. Let's be generous and say 20 minutes. That's a very scary Deadwood. You cannot deny that.
They deny the top tower with all 5 players, and then Malikan goes for a portal key, so he wants to position himself.
Ooh,
I like that
I love
pickup.
that. I like it a lot.
Oh, very
Against-
nice stun from the
Oh,
Magnus here.
nice
Midas gonna
stun.
get a 2-man transmute. Malikan has Shrunken,
That'll
but
came
he's
out with
gonna
the
die here.
Shrunken. He couldn't get his ulti off. I don't know why he went for the Q.
Looks like Emerald's gonna die here
Emerald
to
is
see
gonna go down as well. Yep.
What's going
And
on over
Bubbles
here?
is a little bit greedy.
Transmute lands onto Prophet.
The DD damage is a little bit too much.
The DD damage.
Double damage. Hey, what a...
The DD double damage.
Oy, oy, oy. How much did he hit for actually? 240. Wow. He hits harder than the Corrupted.
So
Prophet could not survive that.
they pretty much were able to burst down the Malikan, even though he got Shrunken off. He used possession,
Yep.
took away some of his own HP. Really good fight from Hellborn because they lined up their Magnus Midas spells.
I think if the reason he died there is because he ultied and tried to go out rather than ulti and try to lifesteal just a little bit. Because the Undying did not come out. You can see like Lord still has it. Moraxis does a nice, semi-nice initiation. I don't think it's gonna do anything though. Yeah, he'll end up going down. Undying.
Oh,
ends up going
Eruption!
in the bubbles.
goes
The
down.
Eruption as well.
By the way, that was Malikan's first
Eruption's
death.
feeling it.
Yep, he gets feared here. Is that a bola? Oh, they have a
He's
bola on the
losing
Monarch.
damage
Wow.
though.
Yep, there's just too much for Malikan to deal with. Now they have a bola and on top of the Sulfuras ulti. Look at how low they all are. They're very close to getting a lot of these kills. So they get the whole rack, they get the full set of racks. They lose Magnus and Midas only. Prophet's manning up here, maybe a little bit too hard.
Too far. He tapped
Yeah.
it in even.
Oh, Monarch with the spiked bola coming in hot.
The Prophet has more balls than the Malikan, unfortunately.
I wouldn't say Malikan, I would say Moraxis.
True. Okay.
I think
you
Prophet
win that.
has
You win that one.
more cajones than
You
the
win that one.
Moraxis. Especially if you look at Moraxis' item build. And then to add insult to injury, Moraxis bought a 30-minute Energizer. So
yeah.
just too many things not making any sense here.
Unfortunate.
You look at this idol and Energizer and think, wow, that could have been a Hellflower plus parts to a Shrunken Head. What a big difference that would make.
True.
Then we have Lord going for a barbed armor. I mean, it's like passive item after passive item after passive item. It's just
Yeah,
not
like
my liking.
going with Barbed, why would you even have the Wisdom or the Idol? I mean, I get it, but Idol really does the best amount of like damage when you're like semi squishy. Because it's Lord after all, he still will have 2000 HP.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think like I don't know. A Barbed against the Malikan, sure, but I feel like the Wisdom should be swapped to something else. And then like Ghost Marches, Barbed, Idol, PK. I think that's fine. But with the Wisdom, it's a little bit too much. Maybe there's just too much commitment on the Corrupted and the Magma's Eruption and the Midas combo to deal damage, and they're like, okay, let's just have Lord as the like complete tank of our team.
Yep. Midas has another 4,000 gold. Hopefully it's not another weird item like Shrunken. If it's not a sheepstick, I'd be very surprised. But, you know, I've been surprised many, many times. Corrupted goes for... He finishes Dawn, he goes into Symbol.
Oh wow!
He just dropped something. What did he drop? He had,
I'm not sure actually. Maybe power supply, most likely something like that.
I don't remember what he had.
Probably something like a power supply or something. Also, the Midas just PK'd into the farm. Well, I guess they're a little bit too much ahead currently at
Bought a
16,000
Hell
gold.
Flower. So now he has an auto attack item for his Shrunken to make a little bit more sense. Magnus jumps in, stuns 2. Very, very far ahead of his team though. There's no way for them to follow
Roxas
that up.
only gets the Magmas, but the cleanse come in. Roxas does not have an ulti anymore.
Oh, CD's
Lot
just
of
manning
damage
up
is
here,
going on in
killing
him.
the
Oh my
Moraxes.
god.
Midas misses his
300
combo.
damage.
He pops the Shrunken, they use the Bola.
Spiked ball and the Malikan
Alec
cannot
is
do
gonna
anything.
die.
They cannot play the game.
Warden's gonna die. Well, it looks like at this point the Hellborn's just overpowering them. So,
It's a
quad kill
for
came out
the
for CD.
Corrupted.
Yep. He's 630 gold per minute. 645. Well, I think that might do it. 2 Rex is down with a 25k lead. This feels like an
This
insurmountable
is 3
lead.
racks. The Meraxis is the lowest cooldown and it's 25. This is the 3 racks, I think. They could even maybe finish. If the Magmus goes in as well.
35 seconds. Who has nobody has buyback, so yeah.
No, nobody has buybacks. GG's come out and it's... Oh my god, I did not realize that the titles were not there. So 1 for 0 for Ork, which then they move on to the next round.
Round of 2.
Let me just...
Another best of
yep.
1. Yep.
Again, I think they played against Doghouse?
GG to, was it Ork Esports?
Ork Esports, yes, correct.
Yep, so well played to them.
Against Zinger Box.